Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I get into the video, I do have to address this because although I am grateful for the growth that has been happening on this channel, with growth comes new personalities and a whole bunch of different people in these here comments. So, two things I have to say. If you are going to be disrespectful, blatantly disrespectful to either other subscribers or myself, you will be blocked from the channel. If you are choosing to be racist in the comments, you will be blocked from the channel. So I don't mean to be so harsh and crass, but like, y'all, we're having fun. We're talking about TV shows. We're talking about things that are light and funny and whatever. Like, when the show is over, we move on. It should not be that serious. The fact that some people are really like coming for my life or coming for other people's lives in the comments and deciding to be racist and say derogatory things, that does not fly on my channel. Okay, so if you happen to watch more than one show review on my channel, you will be seeing this again, but let's be kind to one another. You know what I mean? We could talk, we could disagree. There's ways to disagree respectfully, but the hate, the negativity, not here, boo boo. All right, for the rest of y'all, I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Y'all are great. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste of Reality, reviewing Married at First Sight season 12, episode 14. Child, I'm all discombobulated. Before we get into this review, as always, you know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to show your girl, you know, you ready for when I drop. You're part of the notification gang, you know what I mean? Share the video with a friend, and let's get into the review. All right, so our first couple is Clara and Ryan. Clara's mother is giving Ryan advice about how she became more religious after having Clara.
I really wasn't even attending church until after I had Clara. So I think having kids, it changes you as well.
That's something that would be a huge plus in like relationship building thing for us.
Yep.
I don't like this advice. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Like, to make it seem as if children will help you change your fundamental issues that you've had is really risky. There's no guarantee that, oh, if Clara has your kid, she will become more religious because, you know, she wants her children to be raised that way. That is not a guarantee. Do not wait for children in order to resolve your fundamental issues. So mama, I don't know what you was trying to do. I don't know if I misunderstood the conversation, but this ain't it. Now, before the two can even have children, they are having trouble getting to, you know, doing the do. Ryan has made it clear that love and sex coincide.
I don't think Ryan is as eager to say I love you as I am. And that's going to be sort of a daily struggle because I just don't know how long it will take him to get to that point, and I don't want to rush it for him.
He also says that he doesn't want love to become something that's mundane, that you just do out of habit. And I feel like you should get in the habit of saying you love your partner. I'm so perplexed by Ryan. I don't understand. It's like he's finding any opportunity to not really develop with Clara in a way that's deep and, you know, long lasting. It's like, no, like on the surface, like we're great. Okay, marriage is not surface. Marriage is deeper than that. Is it the cameras? I don't know. Is it the fact that she's not as Christian as you? Like, whatever it is, can we get down to it so we can solve it? Because we're all confused. I was watching The Bald and the Beautiful, and Angel was talking about how, I mean, it makes sense, but like when she said it, I was like, wow, that's so true. She thinks that Ryan is actually a virgin because if love and sex coincide, and you've never said I love you to anybody, how did you have the sex? And like, I knew it, and you guys be saying it in the comments, and like, I've said it to myself too, but like, for somebody who's so vocal on how love should look and feel and what should lead up to sex, you would think he's been there before. But is he living in a fairy tale land, and has he just never been there before? Has he never had sex? I need that explicit answer because I don't feel like we're getting it. Speaking of living in Wonderland, Ryan's letter to his younger self is basically, you are perfect and we are still perfect. how do you work with this guy?
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. I think for him not to come right out and say something that I want to hear so badly, it's just hard because in the company of your spouse is not necessarily the place to bottle things up.
I find it funny how he says he's focused on the present and focused on being in the moment and all this stuff, yet he is missing entirely how his words, his lack of actions has affected the wife that is sitting right in front of him. If you really were being in the moment, you would take time to examine your environment to see, yo, Clara ain't looking too good. What's up with that? Or, I've been saying I want to connect and we're not connecting, and clearly she's struggling with something. Like, what is it? Like, you're clearly not in the moment. You're clearly not somebody who's, present. And like a present person is attentive, and you have not been paying attention to your wife. Ryan, what is up? I need an honest revelation to come from this man, because this whole our marriage is great. Oh, young me, don't worry, you're perfect. All these, no, there's no way you believe life is this idealistic. I just don't buy it. He's hiding something. I don't know what, but I need to know. Now, with decision day coming soon, well, I think that they're just going to say yes just to say yes. But really, in the long run, I don't see this relationship working out if they don't resolve their current issues of sweeping things under the rug. Nothing is ever going to work if you sweep things under the rug, literally. Like, it is never going to work, no matter how perfect your connection is, no matter how great your sex life is, we saw even, I don't know who watches Married at First Sight Australia, but even in that one, there was a couple whose sex life was amazing. And even they couldn't make it work, because you cannot go on in your marriage with issues that are unaddressed. Conflict is sometimes necessary in order to come to a resolve, to come to an understanding of each other. And if y'all don't want to do that, y'all are not going to make it. Oh, all right. Brianna and Vincent, ciao. Okay. Brianna shares her history about feeling like she was less than because of her skin. I don't have really much to say about that. I just thought it was great that they included that in the show.
As Brianna's husband, it was hard to ever hear her talk about times where she struggled being of darker skin, but the fact that she was able to overcome those things made me realize she's a very strong woman, and it's just, a blessing to be able to find somebody special like her.
I'm so glad she shared. I literally have a video about this that I posted 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I completely understand you, girl. Black girls rock, we're great. And just because I know it's coming, just because I say black girls rock does not mean other women don't rock. All right, come on, let's be adults. That racist person really has me vexed, but we move. So the baby conversation comes up again, and Vincent is really pressing to have a child sooner rather than later. And realistically, if they stay together, they'll probably wait the amount of time that Brianna wants to wait, because 1, you cannot rush a woman to get pregnant. All right. And number 2, you guys have only been together for 2 months. Yes, it feels expedited because it's this kind of process, but it still has only been 2 months. You're going to need that time to really get to know your person. If you have the kid earlier, okay, that's great. That's fantastic. But this constant pressure of no, but I need a baby now. You need to be prepared for this child. This is not no trophy. This is not no accessory. This is a human being that you want to bring into this world. You better be at least halfway prepared, because there's no way you can fully prepare, but at least be somewhat prepared. When talking about their childhood, Vincent brings up that he did not have the childhood that he had always dreamed he would have had.
Would you say now that you focus on family because you didn't have that same family dynamic growing up? Like a mom, dad, child,
Just speaking about it just makes me really sad. I felt like I was just by myself.
It's clear that the lack of a father figure in his life is the reason why he wants to be a dad so bad. But my thing is, you're in this process with another person. Don't just fixate on the fact that I want to be a father, I want to be a parent, I want to have children. You're here in this experience with a wife. another person who is going to be the person who bears your children. So it's not a matter of she doesn't want to have children. She wants to have children. But she would also like to have her life set up both financially, socially, with you as a husband. It's not just about, okay, when can we start this next generation? When are you going to make sure that the connection you have here is solid and is stable enough to nurture this next generation? Like you got to dial it back and see that you're missing a whole human being here who's literally the most vital component to this grand image that you have. As always, we're pretty sure that they are going to work through it. I just really need I really need Vincent to be a little more, what's the word? There's introspective, retrospective, but I need introspective. Is that the word? We'll go with it. I need him to really look at how Brianna feels about you just pressuring kids. Like, forget the health risk. Think about me as a person. You're really just saying I want you here so I can procreate with you. How about we just focus on building our legacy, as in what we got right now, before we add on with other people. If that's making sense. I just feel like he's really neglecting her and it's not sitting well with your girl. But, we root for them. We know they're going to work out. It's cool. Whatever. Next up is Haley. Haley is pure comedy. All right? Say what y'all want. Haley is comedy. If Haley's going to be one thing, it's consistent.
I was also around 4. Just a little sassy.
As I say, you sound like a bit of a diva, but that's okay.
Diva? Very strong-minded. I wouldn't say diva.
It's funny how the reoccurring theme of if Haley don't want to do it, Haley ain't gonna do it keeps coming, and she don't see it. She'll say it, but she's not making any steps to mitigate that issue in her marriage. So, baby girl, if you're coming here, you're realizing that you have an issue and you're refusing to resolve it or even just acknowledge it and trying to find a way to work around it. What are we doing here? What's the point? Weirdly enough, I'm actually softening to Jacob. I did not see this coming, but even though I don't get his humor, it's not for me, I understand what he's trying to do. He literally is just yo, let's have fun. Life's too short to just be, serious all the time. At his work event, he was wearing the booty shorts. I was okay, if I was a goofy, type of chick, I'd actually find that funny. But Haley is just such a stick in the mud. You weren't even there and you're upset. He didn't come to your work event and she's irritated. You cannot please this woman. It's not possible. So we're going to move on to when they were writing letters to their younger self. And Jacob actually asks Haley, what would you have told yourself before the wedding? Oh no, what would you have told yourself? What would you have told yourself before the wedding? And her response actually doesn't matter to me. It's his response that killed me.
Thought it was $20 hat, $800 bracelet. I have the hat in my possession.
Yeah, but it's the principal at this point.
Exactly.
These two really know how to make a mountain out of a molehill. You're fighting over a bracelet. A bracelet. Granted, it was $800. Okay, that's a lot of money. $800 is a really lot. That's really a lot of money. But child, is it really this? It's not like she threw it out. She still has it. And I get it. This is why you address issues that are deep rooted and not just these little surface things, because the argument is not even about the damn bracelet or the hat. Okay, the argument is the fact that I was doing things that I thought would be sentimental, and it seemed like to me you didn't value those things, which translates as a rejection. So forget the damn bracelet, both of them. If he would just articulate, I wanted to give you this thing as a sentiment of how I felt about you, the place that you hold in my heart, and the commitment that I have to this relationship, in order to give you such a grandiose gift without even knowing you. That just shows you how ready I am for this and how I don't plan on going back. But instead, you said, well, I didn't spend all this money on this thing and you don't even wear it. So like now I'm upset. And then homegirl is going to retaliate, talk about, well, I bought you a hat. And that's another thing I don't like. Why do you have to retaliate? One thing I hate, anybody in my family knows that I hate, if I'm bringing up a specific issue, no offense, but this is not your opportunity to bring up all your qualms with me. When you had your qualms, those were the times to bring it up. And when I'm done venting about my thing, we can address that. But right now, when I feel like I'm the victim and you want to go and victimize yourself, it's regressive. We're not going to get anywhere because it's like tit for tat situation. If it's constantly, well, let me try to share something and reason why I'm frustrated. Well, I'm frustrated with you. Then I guess we're just going to sit here frustrated at each other because nobody wants to see each other's side. Nobody wants to see the wrong that they've done to the other. Like these two people, done deal. It's over. Now I know these two did not come in here wasting Dr. Pepper's time talking about this damn bracelet. And Dr. Pepper actually calls out Haley on not being empathetic. I'm like, oh!
The question is, has any empathy or kindness been showed from your side of the line? I'm not seeing a bunch of it.
I have always been the kind of person of if I don't want to be in a situation, I remove myself from it. Or if I don't want to deal with something, I don't deal with it.
Her apathy is very evident. It's in the way that she says things to kind of jab at him when she feels threatened. It's the way that she cries in order to, not be vulnerable in the situation. It's the way that, what else is it? It's the way that she makes those faces. Like I'm here saying something and just because you don't agree with it or just because you don't think it's something you would do, you make a face. That's condescending. It's rude and it's disrespectful. You might think it's a joke, but we don't get your humor either, sis. So it's just a shipwreck. I need something positive to say, so we just gonna move on. Dang, I really thought I had a positive couple next, but it's Eric and Virginia, and we know that's a train wreck. So here we go. Eric clearly is very focused on his wife, so much so that he hasn't been in touch with Virginia's family at all.
I do want your dad's number. I do want your brother's number. I want to have a relationship with them. I want to be able to call him at any time or talk with them, on my own. Without you. Okay?
Right, but I'm already doing that with yours.
He excuses this by saying, I've just been, so engulfed by you and the process and I just haven't had time. Well, how did Virginia get time to talk to your family? Your mother and your brother and whoever else, you know what I mean? And he also says, I love you so much and, I'm willing to do anything to make you happy, but you're ultimatum McGee. At any opportunity, you're trying to give this girl a way out. Why? If you love her. And now's the opportunity for you to connect with her family and to really immerse yourself into this whole we are married now to become one. And you don't do that. So no, I don't buy it. After this conversation, Eric makes an attempt to reach out to Virginia's dad, not even to connect, y'all, not to ask about the weather on January 6th. It was to see if Virginia's gonna run.
She's all the way in. Farther than anybody else has in 6 weeks, I'll say that.
Well, that's a good sign.
You're way ahead of the curve.
No, that's great.
I have no words. I have no words. Even the dad reiterates that, listen, a marriage is what you make it. He would know. He's on his third. You know what I mean? To be so fixated on this is the standard of a relationship and I've been there before, so I know what's a success. You don't. You don't know what a successful marriage looks like because you haven't had one. Now Virginia is talking to Eric's sister-in-law, I think it was. And she's talking about how she needs Eric to trust her when she's out and sleeping at other people's houses. I'm like, girl, no.
If I put myself in that situation and the roles were reversed, I don't know, I would feel a little bit uneasy about it, honestly.
Yeah. It's hard for me because I do see that, but then at the same time, I'm just such a trust person. So I'm like, well, you should trust me. I'm like, I see that, like, maybe you're uncomfortable with it, but also I'm like, you should trust me enough that it's okay.
Now, I was with you these past, like, 3 or 4 episodes, girl. You were making some solid points, but you've come back to the stupidness, and I can't back you on this one. I can't back you. You cannot be in a committed marriage, yet going out every weekend or every opportunity you can, and not just like a social drink where like you sip here while y'all eating or, you know, talking, hanging out. You're getting plastered. It's not okay. It's not. I don't know who needs to say it for you to get it, but it's not okay. And my thing is, if you are so reluctant, there's a lot of R's in my sentence that's coming up. If you're so reluctant to relinquish your young adulthood, your whatever, why sign up for a marriage show? There were so many shows you could have signed up for where you would get a boyfriend out of it. But to come in here saying that you wanted a marriage, granted, yes, marriage is what you make it, but I mean, sleeping at other people's houses, girl, no. But then, as quickly as I just hopped off her train, I'm hopping back on her train because here goes Eric talking about, well, these are the standards of a marriage. Like, get over it.
But it's still not fair for you to say, like, this is what I believe the standard is, so this is what we're doing.
That's what I believe. That's what I believe. There are things that you just don't do. What do you want from me?
What I've realized through watching Eric is that you can be right, yet completely wrong. He says things that I actually agree with in terms of a wife isn't necessarily supposed to be going out all the time and being at other people's houses at godforsaken hours and all these things. Like, I actually agree. In my personal opinion, as a wife, that's not something that I think I would do. But the way in which he delivers it and the way in which he gives ultimatums and the way in which he wants to always keep tabs on Virginia, it's really hard for me to agree with him. So, he has to work on his delivery. Oh, the sister-in-law even said that her husband struggles with communication and sharing feelings and being vulnerable and stuff. So, girl, you got a long road ahead if y'all stay together. All right, so obviously Paige and Chris are not in the experiment anymore. Clearly, that's dead. They are going to come back in Decision Day and talk about how, oh, I don't know, we're going to work it out. Okay, BS, we don't want to hear it. But that has been the end of this episode. Next week seems like there's going to be absolute chaos for all the couples. Child, is this the messiest season yet? I mean, excusing the one time when the guy was dating the other girl, that really tall guy, and then the other time when that the girl was kind of like a psychopath and was really clingy and, you know. Yeah, never mind. There are other seasons that take the cake for sure. Anyways, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share the video with a friend, and I'll see you guys next week for another review.